morning and welcome to Coffee and Crafts. I'm Linda Cullen from Crafty Stampin and thank you for joining me. Hopefully have everything, I hate saying these words because I'll jinx myself, but I think I have everything. Good morning and welcome to Coffee and Crafts. No, I don't. There we go. Everything all set, ready to go. Good morning and welcome to Coffee and Crafts. I'm Linda Cullen. Nope, I don't. So there we go. That's just how you prove to yourself you don't have everything all working, but I try. So if that's the extent of our problems, I think we're good. Though I am seeing like I'm up on my iPad and I'm not up on my phone. So welcome to technology and Facebook Lives. So today I have a really cute myth and magic project. Today we're going to play with some of the mermaids. This is a card I did for a swap a while back. I really liked the paper and the bubbles, so I tried to replicate the bubbles everywhere with the softly falling impression folder, as well as looking like the mermaid and the horseshoe and whatever are inside, you know, some water bubbles. So we're going to recreate that today. Good morning, everybody. I see everybody's popping on. Welcome. If you, just before we're letting people come on, I wanted to show you today, let me come down here. Today, Celebration has new products, and it's really quite exciting. So I just kind of wanted to share with you what those new products are available when you purchase $50 or $100 worth of other product, what you can get for free, because there's new stuff. So we have a new catalog, you know, little flyer with the new products, but here they all are. So we have a new stamp set. This is Electric Impressions. This is the $50 item. So if you purchase $50, this is now a new option for you. Another $50 item purchase is this new Springtime Foil Specialty Designer Series paper. And let's just say yummy. So this paper has, it's very smooth and shiny glossy, but then it also has an inlay of coppers and gold and such. It's really pretty. So we got a floral, there's a cool little polka dot, and there's in each one you get 3 pages, and it's quite thick. It is single-sided, and then we have this silver like leaf branch. So super pretty. And then here's a stripe. So this is again a Celebration $50 purchase. You can pick this for free. So that's yummy. And then there's a bundle. So if you have a $100 order, so if you had $100, you can pick 2 level 1s, which are the $50, which could be these, or you can pick a level 2. And the level 2, the additional level 2 is the combination of the stamp set Blossoming Basket and Basket Weave dynamic embossing folder. So this is like one of those super thick ones that you have to only use 1 plate and makes such a nice deep impression. So this is all new for Celebration. So this started today and it's going through the end of March. So my advice, if you want this paper, get it now, because it is so yummy, and paper tends to be able to sell out, you know, because they have to order that in advance. Unlike stamp sets, they'll keep making. So my having no other information than that is order the paper if you want the paper. Like, get it now. So let's see. Let's pick. So if you are new to Coffee and Crafts, if you've never watched me before, or if you have watched me before, I do some giveaways as a thank you for sharing and watching and whatever. So today's giveaways, let's see, come over here. So today, if you leave a comment during this broadcast, and it can just be as simple as a hi, you know, just tell me you're out there, you'll be entered to win the Bermuda Bay stitched ribbon, and we're going to pick that at the very end of today's broadcast. If you don't win that, or you are watching this later, because I know everyone can't, you know, be available 11 o'clock Eastern time on Fridays. Next, so I believe I said on the 21st, so next Wednesday, I will pick the Party Pandas. And these are a current Celebration item. They are extremely popular. They're so adorable. So I'm going to be giving those away. And same thing, you just need to leave a comment. If you share this video on Facebook and leave a comment that says you shared with a D, you'll get a second entry into win those party pandas. So that is super fun and exciting. Hi, everybody. I see everybody's coming on. Someone is watching from your husband's truck. Well, that's going to be fun. So let's pick. So I'm behind. I'm afraid I had a whole bunch of stuff going on. I've had a sick kid home for the past 3 days. He didn't have the flu, but we didn't know what was going on. The town schools have been kind of decimated with flu, stomach bug, this strange fever thing going around. So I've had him home for 3 days. And so a lot of work did not get done. So I'm behind on some of my giveaways and stuff. So I promise we will catch up. So this is way back from the episode on the 26th of January. This is the flowering fields, and so I want to give this away now, so you can see everybody here who left a comment on that Facebook Live or YouTube video, and if they shared the video, they were entered twice. So you might see your name whip by as I do this, and there were a lot, so I thank everybody so much for their comments and their kind words and their support. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit randomize, and whichever name pops to the top will be the winner of the stamp set Flowering Fields. So here we go, and our winner is Debbie Craig Shefinski. I tend to be really bad at pronouncing names, so I immediately apologize. But Debbie, if you are watching, if you head over to craftystampin.com, go to specials, then giveaway, you will see a click here to claim your prize. You just click that, fill out the form. I will get you your prize out in the mail. It takes, you have 2 weeks because I just can't hold them forever. So the winners announcements are always posted in the comments of this video. They're also posted in that same giveaways location. If you scroll down, it shows all my current giveaways as well as all my past winners. So I thank everybody for watching. So I think without further ado, unless I have forgot something I'm unaware of, let's craft. So when I said, so here's the little card. I made this, God, months ago. So we're going to hope I stay on point and the card comes out looking somewhat like what we have planned here. Like usual, and I've made notes on this one so I don't screw up today. About an hour after this broadcast, I will put up a web post of a recap, and in that web post I always have a downloadable PDF. So if you're new and you're watching, you do not have to take notes. They will be here. I have all the cut sizes, a picture, a link back to that blog post, a list of all the products, and they are all available to purchase on my website while you were there, and then a place to take notes. So when you're watching again, you can take notes on what I did. So I'm going to set those aside and let's get going. Let's hope I've remembered to pull out all the products. That's always a good feat for me. So I got all my papers here. So let me grab my scoreboard. Oops. There we go. So I'm scoring. This is 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored in half at 5 1/2. And oops. Here we go. So here is my card base. So the papers, this is the Myth and Magic paper. And I don't know if you can see, it's got a lot of shimmer and glitter on them, and each page seems to. It's really cool. And then it is double-sided, so you do have to make a choice. But the second side, if one side has texture, the other side does not. So this is smooth. So first things first, let's do our base. I've pulled everything out, and it's now like crowding my desk. If you have that, it's like I run out of workspace. So here we go. Oh, crap. So this is what you do when you put your snail. See, I'm not even paying attention, and I put my snail on my wrong side. All right, hold on. Hold on. When I said I knew what I was doing and had my act together, I guess I lied. Let's see, is that big enough? Yep, here we go. Second sheet for the win. I'll get the tape off of that one later. You don't have to watch me get the tape off. See, now you turn it over and then you put the snail on. See? This is what you get with live broadcasts. You get live boo-boos. All right, so I always like to add a little contrast on the edge of my papers. I think it just adds a bit of interest. So there's that. We're going to add that to the base. More snail. Here we go. Line that up. There we go. So there's my base. I think I'm going to trim it just a smidge off the bottom. All right, so that's all evened up. All right, and let's set that aside because I don't need that right now. And let's do, actually, let's stamp, and then we can let the stamps kind of dry a little bit. You know what I didn't do? I didn't pull the stamps. Hold on. Someday. Oh, crapola. Yeah. So here it is, real stamping. So let's grab our mermaid. And we need our bubbles. And we need our, there we go. I need to make a list. I used to have a list that said these are the following things you need to do. And they need to include pull the stamps. I think this is the third or fourth time I've done that. Okay, so I'm going to stamp all of these on this big piece of scrap. And because we're going to be coloring with the Stampin' blends, I'm going to stamp in Memento ink. All right, so let me get you a close-up. There we go. So, all right. So these are all going to end up being punched out with stamps, with punches. So I'm not really overly worried where I put them. I just want them enough room so I can punch them all out easily later. There we go. And all right, so let's let that sit aside and dry a little bit. When I'm working with the blends, I like to make sure the ink is really, really dry. So I will stamp and then move on, do something else, let it sit for a bit, or I will hit it with my heat gun. So I might do that in a minute, but let's prep other stuff first. All right, so we're gonna make this my banner at the top. So here I got an idea. We're gonna pull the heat gun out anyways. So I want to stamp my greeting. I don't know if you can tell. Not only did I stamp it in Bermuda Bay, but then I hit it real quick with clear embossing powder. I want it to be shiny. I kind of wanted it the shimmer that's on the DSP. So if I move quickly, you can emboss with your colored inks. So I'm going to have everything ready to go so that I can do this. So let's put the embossing powder down. I'm going to grab my piercing mat because that'll help ensure I get a really good image. Let's grab my stamp. Magical Day. All right, get that on the block. Make sure it's even on the block. There we go. All right, so I got my stamp on the block. I got my Bermuda Bay ink. All right, let's go out so you can see. All right, I got my clear embossing powder ready to go. I got my paper on my stamping pad, and I have my Bermuda Bay ink. So we're going to ink up the greeting. I'm going to aim for the middle. And then I'm going to throw it in the powder. There we go. And like I said, as long as you work quick, you know, our ink is quick drying, but you can get it to hold the powder. So now let's put this all away so I don't have embossing powder all over my craft room. Been there, done that. And we'll move this out of the way. Let's get my heat gun, and we'll actually heat both of these while we're at it. All right, keep my heat gun below the table for a second, get it to warm up. You always find you have a good, nice hot heat gun, it'll emboss quicker. All right, so here we go. Good morning, everybody who's coming on. Here we go. Burning my finger, so I use my foam folder to hold it. Okay. So there's the magical day, and then we're gonna just hit these guys real quick. Make sure they're good and dry, so they won't smudge on with the blends. All right, so now, I don't know if you can see, it's got a little sparkle to it. So I'll move this all out of the way. All right, so let's just color. All right, so for my mermaid, I'm gonna color her with Old Olive, light and dark. So I start with the light, and see how many coffees I've had today. If that's, give me a smooth hand or a shaky hand here. We'll find out. Make sure I keep you in the screen. There we go. All right. Oh, what did I do? I think I just did. I'm going to add a little bit of darker along the bottom, and then I'm just going to blend that in, and I'm using the nib end. If you have the blends and you have a little bit of trouble of them kind of going outside the lines, try the nib end. They are really juicy when you get them, and the brush end I see will they give out more ink than the nib end. You can, so Karen wants to know why I can't lay darker down first. You can. It's preference. I prefer to do light and then add a little bit of dark and then blend again with light. Some people like to just put the dark down first. I just like to make sure I have a nice base layer of light first. It's purely preference. And let's see the tail. And I'm going to add dark. There we go. All right. Do I have any green anywhere else? No. So let's put my Old Olive away. What kind of container? So everyone really loves my containers for my embossing folders, or for my embossing powder. So just real quick, this is, I don't know if you can see the name. It is a food container. You can find them on Amazon. This one is, my powder's upside down, 12.8 ounces. And I just put a couple things of powder in it. I pull the label off, stick it on the top so I know where it is. This is a command strip for like holding wires, you know, if you were going to have Christmas lights, and it's just a tasting spoon on it. And it's great because you can do the everything in this bucket, and then you don't have to transfer it back and forth. So that is a huge help to me. All right, so I'm going to do her skin in ivory. Let's see, and I will tell you, I got to use the brush end for this. This one is a bit of a trick because her hands are very skinny So it is a bit of a trick to hold it straight and not get it outside the lines right here. So you just kind of have to move lightly and quickly. Let's see if you can see. There we go. All right. Yeah, my hands are shaky this morning, so I'm probably going outside the lines. I probably need another cup of coffee. It's funny how coffee can kind of sometimes calm you down. All right, so there's her skin. I'm going to then take the light pink pirouette. I'm going to add little cheeks to her. Just little circles, kind of where her cheeks are. You know, it's not going for a realistic. It's a mermaid. All right, so there's the skin. So now we're going to do her hair. Hair I'm doing in daffodil, and I'm going to start with the light daffodil. And again, make sure you can see the some pieces of the hair are very small. It can be a bit of a trick to make sure you get it in the lines. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to come back with the dark and add a little bit of shadow. So I'm going to kind of do it at her hairline. I'll blend that in a smidge. Put little lines there, and then kind of where it comes out from behind her in the back, like she's got a ponytail. And then I'm just going to add a couple little lines. There we go. You know, I sometimes I just don't overwork it. I just do a little bit and walk away. I found sometimes it's best to just walk away from stuff. Like, it looks good, walk away. All right, so now we got my little seahorse. So I'm trying to remember how I did him. So I got my pumpkin pie light. Good morning, everybody. And we're just going to color him all in the light pumpkin pie. I'm leaving his fins undone. This is another one. The tail is super small. My hand is shaking. All right. So now I got the dark pumpkin pie, and I'm just going to do these dots on his back. And now I'm just going to come back and kind of blend that into the rest of his body. And now I'm going to come grab my Stampin' Blend color lifter and fix my boo-boo because I got a shaky hand. So I'm just going to hold that where my boo-boo is. Wow, that one is rich. Okay. All right, that's good. And all right, let's put away. I'm done with my orange, my pumpkin pie. And I want dark pool party, and that's what I'm going to do is fins with. Make sure you can still see me. If I blow it up anymore, you won't be able to see. It'll get too blurry. There we go. All right, there's his fins. And then I'm going to use dark Bermuda Bay for the bubbles. So I'm just going to do a couple dots there, here, here, and there. So I think if I look at my example, yep, that's all we need to do. All right. So there is my images colored. All right. So let's see what else. All right. So we need to emboss. So I gotta put this over here. Get the shot. So let's back to normal. So I'm using the Softly Falling, which is supposed to be snow, but I thought it could also be bubbles. So let's put that in here. I'm going to put it towards the top. And so embossing folders, I want to remove my thin die adapter. I do not need that to do an embossing folder. I'm putting that in the Big Shot with just the base plate and the 2 cutting pads. This is a standard embossing folder, not the dynamic, really thick ones. You can tell holding them in your hands which ones are the thick dynamic ones. Okay, so there's my bubbles from the Softly Falling. All right, so let's start to build our card a little more. So I want to find my snail. So I'm going to attach this emboss to some lemon lime. Still loving the lemon lime. And I want to attach this to my card base with dimensionals. Not the little ones. Let's see, where are the big ones? I know how many. I have tons of sheets like this. It's like, come on, where's one that's got, okay, where's one? Here we go, that's got a few. All right, I obviously need to go dig out a new pack. And one in the middle. Good morning, everybody. All right, here we go. All right, so I want it to be like there's more bubbles at the top than the bottom, though I suppose, actually, now that I think about it, maybe bubbles are going up, so there should be more bubbles at the bottom. So we're going to make this one different from my original. It's always good to shake things up. All right, and so now my greeting, I'm going to take the triple banner punch, and let's stick this in. I was like sticking it in backwards so that I line it up here. Because if I go, what it kind of wants to do is to go all the way to this end, and look how much paper I'm going to lose. So I prefer to kind of sit here and eyeball it myself and say, yep, that's enough. So one side and then repeat. Slide that in. There we go. So there's that. And let's add that with dimensionals to my top. Okay, and I want to be able to see the white at the top, so there's a line. See? All right. Yeah, I know there's a boo-boo. I'm ignoring it. If I ignore it, others will ignore it. That's my take. All right, so now let's punch out our images. So this is where I made a note. Where are my notes? Don't screw this up. All right, so she's going to be cut out with the 1 3/4 circle. We'll line her up in the center. Punch. And then Mr. Horseshoe, or horseshoe, yeah, is 3/4. Seahorse, there we go. I think I need more coffee. All right, he's 3/4 of an inch. And then my bubbles are half. Let's see if I can even reach them. I stuck them too far in. Oh. Anybody else, Disney fans? You see, to me, that's like a hidden Mickey. Boo-boos are embellishment opportunities. Yes, they are. That's how I live my life. It's just a new design waiting to happen. All right, so there are those. Now, all right, my background for these, so here's my original. I wanted to do the Bermuda Bay with the background of these bubbles, make them bigger. And I just thought it was so dark. It was too harsh. It really kind of screamed at me. It kind of lost the effect. So I decided to mute it with a piece of vellum. And it just made the Bermuda Bay softer. So I'm going to punch out these circles in both the vellum and the Bermuda Bay. So the large that's going behind the mermaid is the 2-inch. So I'm going to take it 2 inches. So we have Disney fans. We are DVC owners and huge Disney fans in this house. But yes, as soon as I open that, I'm like, Hidden Mickey! All right, so then the next around my seahorse is 1 inch. So 1 inch circles. 1 inch, and then vellum. 1 inch. All right, and then the last under my bubbles is 3/4. You see why I had to make notes? This was, all right, so 3/4, yep. So vellum and Bermuda Bay. All right. So now attach my vellum. I'm just going to put a little bit of snail right in the middle because you're not going to see it after it's done. I'll line this guy up. Let's see. How's about I do that? There we go. Oops. All right. All right. So now same with the next one. Smidge of vellum in the middle. Smidge of snail in the middle of the vellum. 2, and the last one. Advance my snail. There we go. I'm going to stick that in the middle. DVC, sorry. So Disney Vacation Club. So it's their timeshare. So sorry. Speaking in Disney code. All right, I lost my seahorse. Oh, Mr. Seahorse, where'd you go? All right. He'll show up, I'm sure. All right. We're moving on without Mr. Seahorse right now. All right, so I'm going to add these to... Oh, there he is. He's behind my mermaid. All right. So, all right. So I'm going to use a mini dimensional behind the seahorse and the bubbles. And then we'll use a regular size dimensional behind the mermaid. And let's put these together. And yeah, we bought the timeshare. We're Disney fans. So my husband and I went on our honeymoon to Disney World, and he went to the bathroom and left me alone for 10 minutes, and I got talking to the salesman, and a couple hours later we owned Disney Vacation Club. So he blames it on a trip to the bathroom. But oh well, best decision we ever made. Other than becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, but for the pair of us. So now, all right, I'm going to add these guys to my card base with snail. Let's see. So I want her down here. You know what? Okay, hold on. I got one more thing I got to do, which I forgot because I always forget something. All right, put my seahorse over here, and I'm purposely kind of going over the edges. I think it's more interesting for them to kind of expand outside the lines. All right, and then my Mickey, hidden Mickey bubbles right there. So we need a little extra special splash. So I'm going to take some Stella. I haven't played with this one lately. Let's just see. That's it. Sometimes they need a little extra squirt. There we go. All right. And so I'm just going to paint the mermaid's dress, her body, outfit, with Stella to give her a wee bit of shimmer. So sometimes you can't tell when you've done it. There we go. And let's add... because you can never have too much shimmer and shine. We'll put a little on our seahorse, and I'll hit this bigger bubble here. So there is my Magical Day card. Hope your day is magical. Perfect for a little girl, or big girls who like mermaids. So thank you for joining me. Now we're going to do the giveaway. If you came on... I'm doing a giveaway for, what is today's giveaways? The Bermuda Bay stitched ribbon. And so you have a couple seconds left here to leave a comment. And if you don't win, you'll be still eligible to win the Party Pandas, which will be picked next week. So just pop on, say hi while I take 1 second and refresh this screen because it logs me out while I chat. So good of it that way. Here we go. So now let me bring you over here. All right. And let's pick a winner. There we go. And you get you enter by commenting, and you get 1 entry for this winner. And so the name that pops up will be the winner of the Bermuda Bay stitched ribbon, and that is Trudy Oliver. Trudy, if you are new, head over here. If you head over to craftystampin.com, go to specials and giveaway. Right up front is click here to claim your prize. If you fill out the form found there, I will mail that off to you. So I thank everybody for joining me. I hope you enjoyed our mermaid card, and I will be back on Wednesday of next week. I have school vacation, so it could be interesting with the 2 kids around, but we'll come up with something. So again, thank you very much, and I will see you next week. Bye.